We all love a legendary comeback, and Degree Original Cool Rush is back and better than ever. Cool Rush isn't just a scent, it's a movement, a fan favorite that delivers bold, fresh vibes and all-day sweat protection. Whether you have a man that spends hours in the gym, heads into the office early, or is just trying to stay fresh on a long day, Cool Rush has their back. Head to your local Walmart or Target and grab Degree Cool Rush, the fan favorite scent from the world's #1 antiperspirant brand.
$1,000 could prevent you from paying people. It could prevent you from keeping your doors open. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome to our podcast, It's About Payroll. We're your hosts, Brian Escobar and Walter William Duncan III. Whether you're new to the payroll game or a seasoned veteran, we have something for you. Welcome back, folks. This is episode 104. We're going to do some true payroll crime today. But before we get into it, how you doing, Walter?
Man, I am good, sir. Again, just grateful to be at the spot that we're in, and just happy to be here, man, on this Saturday morning. Even though it's rainy outside, still got to be
it's raining
grateful.
over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
How are you doing?
It's hot over here, man. We're gonna do like a walk for a charity walk tomorrow, and man, I don't know. Hopefully not. Hopefully like a 1K. But not that I'm not trying to exercise, but we're bringing the kids, so there's gonna be a little bit to
Oh,
manage with them. I'm like, dang, I wish they could I know my son's gonna complain, even though he actually is a great athlete when he applies
yeah,
himself. He's an amazing athlete. But should I say he's just naturally talented, right?
yeah.
Anywho, we gotta bring the kids with us, and my little one is a
Oh,
gymnast. Yeah, she's a dancer. They're fine, but they're gonna complain. When we went to New York,
yeah,
well, we had them walking around everywhere. They were like, my knee. What they say? It feels like my legs are gonna break off.
yeah.
But what's
Uh-huh.
gonna kill it is the last week was nice, right? We've been getting cool weather,
Yeah,
and I'm in South Florida, folks, and Walt is in northern Michigan or
yeah.
Michigan or whatever. It was nice, but this weekend's gonna be abnormally hot. Thanks,
Mm.
South
Oh,
Florida,
jeez.
for the season. Not
Wow.
because we joke around anyway here. There's only 2 seasons here: summer and summer junior. It's just
Yeah.
yeah. So that's it for me. So yeah, today we're talking about a true payroll crime story. Before we get into it though, we have some pay news updates. And Walt has our first one. Excuse me, bro. Man, I'm sorry, man.
You okay?
Nah, I'm feeling a little sick. Which reminds me, crap, man, I need to put in my sick time.
Oh, what system do you use?
Oh, TrakGO, the simply better employee time clock software that is going to make your life easier. I don't know if you know, man, but it already has a unique graphical employee time card, and it's awesome because it helps you quickly identify and fix the mistakes.
That's right. Now that you say that, they just announced the addition of an automatic PTO accrual earnings, so you can say goodbye to those manual calculations. Time Track Go's new automatic PTO accrual feature takes the hassle out of tracking those earned and accrued times, assuring accuracy and consistency for both employees and HR teams.
Oh, that's golden. That's awesome. You know what? That's right. I remember that. I read that you can choose from various rules like yearly, monthly, pay period, hourly, and hourly percentage to seamlessly align with your company's policies. It includes new state sick leave. Awesome, because I'm not feeling good. That's going to help. And you can do vacation hours that automatically increase with length of service.
Man, like, how could someone find out what a simply better solution could do for their business?
Oh, to learn more, they're doing a 14-day free trial. Someone should go to their website at www.timetrackgo.com. That's TIMETRAK go.com. Or if they want to call, the number is 888-321-9922. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. This update is a look back on our very first true payroll
Yes.
crime story that we did,
Yes.
Mystery at the Museum. So it's a look back on the impact that it actually had on the individuals. This article by New York Times that they did really focused on how Michael Mann, who was the guy who did the crime here, how he impacted several people's lives and how it had downstream impact for those people, and they still are trying to recover to this day for some people, right?
Yep.
So the key takeaways from this article was, like I said, the impact on the individuals. The sudden closure of My Payroll HR had devastating consequences for individuals like Nicole Ingram, a nursing student who found her paycheck withdrawn while at the supermarket, leaving her unable to pay rent and other bills. So imagine that feeling. You're going to try to get your stuff for your family, for yourself, or whoever,
Yeah.
and you can't pay your rent. You can't get food. You can't do anything.
Wow.
I'm sure she had people to rely on, but in that moment, that probably felt like a helpless, perplexing moment for her.
Heck yeah.
Business owners, number two, business owners were affected. Small business owners like Stephanie Ross Pettit suffered significant financial losses, with her businesses in upstate New York losing nearly $50,000 to the collapse of My Payroll HR. So they talk about other people in this article, other businesses and stuff like that. But man,
Wow.
$50,000, especially to a small business owner, if you have a couple of different locations,
Could make and
but you're
break
not,
you. Yeah.
$50,000 like could prevent you from paying people. It could prevent you from keeping your doors open. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Number three, legal and legislative response. This incident prompted a legal and legislative response, with New York state senators introducing legislation to tighten regulations on the payroll industry and establish
Hmm.
safeguards against future crisis. So, because of what Michael Mann did, the
Yep.
government stepped in and passed some laws to tighten up stuff on the payroll. You know what I'm saying? So to prevent this from happening from in the future, right?
Yep.
Uh, Number four, again, a little bit about the perpetrator's profile. Michael Mann. He used to be the president of My Payroll HR, and he was revealed to be the mastermind behind the fraud scheme. Yes, 70 mil. Yeah.
See, I don't. We didn't have all those details when we first did this, right?
Mm-mm.
The stuff is coming out.
Yep.
Holy cow, bro.
And then, as I
Yo.
mentioned, there's still ongoing struggles. And my last point: many individuals and businesses are still grappling with the aftermath. They're still waiting for reimbursement and uncertain about their financial future. Despite efforts by authorities and legislation, concerns remain about the vulnerability of the payroll industry and the potential for similar incidents in the future. That's
Wow,
what I had to
these
share. Yep.
ripple effects. Yeah, no, this is awesome. And this is exactly what we've been talking about, trying to follow up on how you see how crazy this is. Cause when we first did it, we didn't have he was just right, just indicted and was all oh no, he was convicted. No, he wasn't doing the time yet.
He
But
was awaiting
yeah,
trial or
it was
something. Yeah.
early on. Yeah, he was
Hmm.
waiting try exactly. He had been fired, of course, and it was pending. But man, how crazy these ripple effects, these impacts that again, we gotta get Adrian Resto back on this daggone show because
Yeah.
we payroll is life, and
Yes.
this is something um that this is an example of it, right? We did something, someone that was responsible for payroll was malicious about it and impacted other folks' lives, man.
He
Oh,
because of what he did, it caused Congress or New York State to pass legislation because of what
mm-hmm.
he did.
Absolutely, it has ripple effects, right? Because they have to be reactionary. You have to. It's off. It's very similar to when, as professionals, when we find something wrong in our job. Oh, wait, we gotta fix that. It's audits. I covered
Hmm.
audits in a payroll course that I'm teaching. I did a session on auditing. And
Hmm.
I got a really great question from the attendee. Hey, what kind of audit should we do? And there's basic audits, but what I recommended also is let the pain points at your particular job also drive what you audit. And
Yes.
unfortunately, you don't know the pain points sometimes until it happens. And it's, whoa, what happened here? Oh my goodness. One time I had found, luckily I found it really early on because I don't know, I just noticed it. I wasn't even looking for it. I just had the right eye. I'm pointing to my head, but it's my eye. folks were using their PTO over the weekend. And basically what they were
Mm,
doing, hourly employees were using the system. They were taking advantage a guardrail that didn't exist in the system, and they were putting their PTO time on the weekend, and they were using it as a way to get paid more. Now, at the end of the day,
I don't know about you, but I don't know very many people that are hopeful about the world of work. And I'd like to change that. My name's Marcus Mossberger, and I started the Hope at Work podcast, where you'll find two things. Number one, really interesting guests, and number two, innovative ideas about the future of work. Check it out.
it did take away from their PTO time, but they didn't care. They were doing payouts. Basically, they
yeah.
found a
Giving
way
themselves payouts.
to
Yeah.
game the system to get PTO
Yep.
payouts for themselves. And and then I caught it and I was like, whoa, what? No, we were in the. I think that's how I caught it. I was in the midst of implementing a new time and attendance system for this group. And in the setup phase, you want to look back at the data that you are about to map over. You want to look at the trends that you have in your system or in your data already. And I'm like, how come there's Saturday and Sunday PTO? These folks don't is closed on Saturday. And I had to dig. Wait, hey, do they work on Saturdays? No, we don't. Not normally. It's like extra.
Yep.
Okay, it's not part of the schedule. But so once we
Hmm.
implemented the new time and attendance system that had all the bells and whistles, now you can't. Now you can't do
Now you
this.
just can't do it. Yep.
Now you
Because you
can't do it.
Yeah,
So
because you can
yeah.
add those schedules in there. You can add those
Oh,
guardrails. You can prevent
yes.
them from requesting time off on the weekend. You can say,
On the
hey, you can only
weekends.
request it Monday
Yes.
through Friday. Nope, these
Yes.
dates, holidays and weekends, you can't do it.
Yep. Now here's the other side of that on the guardrails, because I did have pushback from a particular department where an employee was working, like they had 12 or 10 or 12-hour days. I think it was right at folks were just starting to test out that what is it, 310s, 410s, when you work
Hmm.
three 410s or 312s, I think it is,
Yes.
work either 3 12-hour days or 4 10-hour days. And so a manager called me and was like, hey Brian, my employee can't request, or no, what was it, they did request the PTO, but he noticed on his paycheck that it was only for 8 hours. And
Hmm.
the manager called me and was like, hey, my employee's only getting 8 hours. And I was like, well, yeah, how many hours did they work? And
Hmm.
then that's when she told me. She was like, well, no, this is a 10-hour employee that he does work 10-hour shifts for me. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh. So I had to change the mapping and the parameters around the allowable time for PTO, because this person worked 10 hours. So just to keep in mind, it goes both ways. The guardrails are
Yeah.
there to help, but they shouldn't also prohibit something that should happen. So you might have to be flexible on how you build it. And depending on the system, you might still have to do your audits and stay on top. I love audits. I love looking at the data. You should always have these audits. I'm a big advocate of keeping the system honest, keeping your vendors honest, keeping your managers
Hmm.
honest. Trust but verify, right?
Yep.
Trust but verify, like we always say. Yeah, that is just a good, made me think of that.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
What you got for us?
Oh, you ready for my? Oh, so I got, in honor of Women's History Month and in honor of International Women's Day that just passed, I found an article from CBiz. They honored a bunch of women in business for different accomplishments.
Hmm.
And shout out to CBiz, one of our colleagues and friends of the show, Gerard Hall, is works for CBiz. And oh gosh, he
That
just made
payroll
like
guy. That payroll
16,
guy.
that payroll guy. Go check out that
Yeah.
payrollguy.com. He just made 16 years with CBiz. Congrats and shout outs to Gerard Hall. Look out. We are going to be doing something super exciting with Gerard Hall in about a month or so. So stay tuned for that. And but yeah, so each honoree shows the spirit of innovation, resilience, and compassion, inspiring others to strive for excellence and drive positive and transformational change. And I'm really just going to read off these names because I think they deserve the shout out. They deserve their flowers, right?
Nice.
The honorees for 2024 Women Transforming Business Awards include, For financial strength, we have Beth Sokup, Chief Financial Officer of J.E. Dunn Construction. We have Joanne Williams, AIB Holdings Board Chair and JAG Portfolio Services Founder, JAG Portfolio Services Founder. We have Lisa Larson, Chief Financial Officer of Holmes Corporation, Holmes with a L.
Mm-hmm.
That was for financial strength. For innovation, we have Erica Tyberski, Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Sanguina. Hope I pronounced all that correctly. Heather Decker, Chief Technology Officer for Roanoke Incorporated. Kerry Siggins, Chief Executive Officer of Stone Age Inc., and that was for the category of innovation. In the category of culture, we have Dawn Apogee, founder, City Personnel. We have Lisa Lochner, president of Missouri Baptist Sullivan Hospital. We have Marla Carter, Chief Human Resource Officer of Doorways. Shout out to CHROs.
Yes.
And that was for culture. For community impact, we have Anne Marie McDowell, Chief Executive Officer of Cora Services. We have Michelle Wims, Senior Vice President, Chief Equity and Inclusion Officer at Children's Mercy, Kansas City. And last in that category for community impact is Paola Ermantrot, PhD and Chair of Master of Arts in Diversity Leadership for University of St. Thomas. And the last category for emerging leaders, we have Alicia Matomura, Vice President Operations for Middle Ground Capital. We have Kelsey Johnson, founder of In Control. One word, In Control. And the last one in the emerging leader category is Sahana Athreya, Chief Executive Officer and founder of Navigator AI and former data science lead Millennium. So I hope I said that. Sahana Athreya, Chief Executive Officer and founder of Navigator AI and former data science lead at Millennium. By recognizing the invaluable contributions of these leaders, we can celebrate their achievements and pave the way for future generations. Congratulations to this impressive group of honorees. Quoted by, that's a quote from Lori Novick, national leader of CBiz Women's Advantage. Yeah, shout
Man,
out to
thank you.
these
Shout out
women
to
doing
yes.
Yes, amazing things. And folks, if you're not familiar with CBiz, CBiz is a leading provider of financial insurance and advisory services to businesses throughout the United States. And again, Gerard Hall's been with them for over 15 years. Shout out to CBiz for paving the way for Women's History Month and recognizing these amazing women in business.
Yes. Awesome, man. Thank you
All
for that. Thank
right.
you for sharing that, bro.
Yeah, heck yeah. No, thank you for CBiz for doing it. Doing great things out there. That's awesome. So yeah, let's get into it, right? What are we talking? We talking about what'd you find for a true payroll crime?
So I found something on justice.gov
Ooh,
about a
to get you.
vice president at and secretary at Winner Fashions Incorporated. This person was indicted on 30 counts of
Good gosh.
related to tax fraud. This person engaged in a scheme that concealed almost $4 million, 3.8 million to be exact, in gross receipts, and to evade around $300,000 in federal payroll taxes owed by the company. So it involved cash payments to employees and using a check cashing business to conceal revenue. Jin Zhu was arrested and is facing charges including conspiracy to defraud the IRS, failure to pay over payroll taxes, and aiding the
Can't mess with
preparation
the
of
IRS,
false
folks.
and aiding in the preparation of false tax returns. So I'm going to go over the key takeaways here, and then Brian's going to go over some potential preventative steps for this. Okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
The number one, I have 5 key takeaways. So, Zoo allegedly engaged in a long running scheme to conceal millions of dollars in gross receipts and to evade payroll taxes, as I mentioned. The scheme lasted, my point, second point, the scheme lasted from 2016 to 2021. So, again, as it said, it involved cash payments directly to employees and utilizing a check cashing business to conceal the revenue from Winners Fashion's accountant. So they were doing this so the accountant couldn't see it. So they were trying to hide it from Winter Fashions itself, right?
Oh wow.
So yeah, so Zoo is facing serious charges, including conspiracy to defraud the IRS, failure to pay payroll taxes, and again, preparing false tax returns. The IRS criminal investigation conducted the investigation leading to this person's arrest. And the last point is that
Hmm.
if found guilty, this person faces a maximum sentence of several years in prison.
Introducing Meta Ray-Ban Display, the world's most advanced AI glasses. With a full color display built into the lens of the glasses, it's there when you need it and gone when you don't. Send and receive messages, translate or caption live conversations, collaborate with Meta AI, and more. Be one of the first to try Meta Ray-Ban Display. Visit meta.com/Meta Ray-Ban Display to book a demo and find your pair.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I don't think the punishments fit the crimes yet, because these folks
No.
are, I'm serious, because these folks are stealing millions of dollars and they go do a few years in jail. I don't think it's fitting. It is what it is. Any amount of time in prison is not good. And please believe that jail is different from prison. Prison is real deal. Dang. All right.
So, yeah, you remember Michael Mann that we talked about in the news update?
Yeah.
He was eventually sentenced to 144 months in prison. So that's 12 years.
Oh,
Um,
dang. That's that. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So that was fitting. That
yeah.
was fitting. That's going, man, because he was a older person.
He was
So
51 at
that's
the time.
so yeah. I mean, if you're gonna get out somewhere in his 60s, yeah, 12 years in prison is a long time. It's a
Yeah.
long time, folks. You cannot mess with the IRS, y'all. Do
I
something
mean,
else, man.
you should not. You can if
You
you
should,
want.
you
You can
should,
take the risk,
you're
but you
right.
should not.
Whoa, yo, whoa, it's crazy. You're right. You should not. That's correct. The words are important. You should not. That's right. All right. Here's some preventative steps. We always like to give the solves and salute. We are payroll and HR professionals at the end of the day. So we need to, like, how do we prevent? How do we solve this? And I got 6 for you. And the first one is implement robust internal controls and oversight mechanisms to prevent financial fraud and ensure accurate reporting of income and taxes. Shoot, we know firsthand what that's all about. We going through that exercise recently to
Yeah.
just make sure that things are, and not because of fraudulent reasons, just because we want to be proactive and stay on top of it.
Yeah.
And again, I'm a big fan of being proactive, staying on top of
Yeah.
things like trust but verify. That's number 2 is conduct regular audits and reviews of financial records to detect any irregularities or discrepancies. This makes me think of the celery folks. Our
Yes.
friends over at celery.com, celery like the vegetable, but it sounds like salary, right? They have a tool uh, that can, I don't know, call it AI automation, whatever, but they have a software that you can run your pay registers through or pay check stubs, whichever, I think both or either, but check them out at celery.com.
Yeah.
And
Shout
they
out
will,
to Yuval and Hillel.
thank you. And they could actually point out the outliers, stuff that you may not even be seeing, right? Because it
Hmm.
the way they explained it to us was like, because they are on one of the shows. I'll grab it for you in a second what episode they're on. But basically, their software will kind of show you the outliers. Like, hey, this is all normal, right? This is looks normal in your, but here are like a few hundred that kind of just look odd. You may want to look at that and zero in on that. So that conduct
Episode
regular.
85.
Thank you, sir.
Hmm.
Episode 85 of It's About Payroll. is celery.com, like the vegetable, sounds like salary. And check it out. Listen to that show episode because that's a really great tool. I want that tool to become more of a
Yep.
normal thing and
Yes.
for them to really get successful and spread that around the world. So that was number 2, conduct regular audits and look for irregularities. Number 3 is provide training and education to employees about tax compliance and the consequences of fraudulent activities. That's a good one, right? Because I don't think we do that enough. For real. No, because
Yeah.
not in a bad way, but we don't, yeah, and I say we, the royal, we, everybody, we, companies, the whole, we're not doing that enough.
So let me know if this makes
Training,
sense to you. Let me know if this makes
yeah,
sense because that is a good one that you have here.
yeah,
It's a great
yeah,
point because I'm not saying that we should treat people like children, but think about
mm-mm,
how you train and teach your kids, right? Hey,
mm-hmm,
if you do this, if you do A, these are the consequences that may happen. Just like you
yeah,
train them, you should want to
yep,
train your employees
yep.
on this. Hey, this is what you need to not do. And so I couldn't think of a better example. Now that's why I said children, but you need to train them up
No,
they
it's a good
understand.
for parents, or if you, yeah, just, yeah, absolutely. It's a great example. Thank you for that. Number 4 is encourage a culture of transparency and accountability within the organization where employees feel empowered to report specific suspicious activities.
Yep,
This makes me think of Ray Dalio
yep,
principles because
radical.
he radical transparency, radical honesty. Um, he promoted at Bridgewater to report the errors. Don't if you and I love it because if you don't report those errors, right? There's no way you're going to help the organization because what if somebody else runs into the same error or they see the same data, whatever, now they know and now you can prevent against it, right? Like I said earlier, let those pain points drive the audits that you build, and
Yeah,
the pain points may come along in the future and out of nowhere and you can't predict everything. So as they
yeah,
come up, don't be afraid. And I hope and that's what I'm going to repeat this because this is so true. Number 4, encourage a culture of transparency and accountability within the organization where employees feel empowered to report any suspicious activities.
yeah,
Good. That's a great one. Number
yes,
5, utilize reputable accounting and payroll services to ensure accurate and timely processing of financial transactions and tax filings. This is a good one. People don't think about this, but if you might be a small business or maybe you're a big business and you want to save money and you feel like your accountants or your payroll service are charging you way too much money, now you're going to go with Shaderson over here.com because he's giving you the best price. Oh, crazy Eddie, right? Like, oh, rock bottom prices. And you may not want to do that you may not want to do that with your business, right? You may not want to go with an unproven accountant or an unproven payroll processor. That's why there's like the big 4 in payroll process. That's why they stay the big 4 because they have so much credibility. They have they're so established. So but there are thousands and thousands of other processing companies out there. Shout out to Valor Payroll for being one of the best out there. Christina's and Valor's business model is beyond reproach. There
yes,
are other good ones, but you want to get some established. You want to get references. You may want to get a lot of references in the case of a vendor, not just 3. Like
yeah,
you're hiring somebody, you may want 5 or 6 or 7. You may want a list of clients that they can call. You can call. These are the things that you can ask when you're vetting your vendor, right? Also, check out Anita Latink's book on how to pick your next payroll. There's great information in that. All these things. So that's what it really means. We take it for granted. Like, oh, of course I'm going to use a good payroll. Not everybody's thinking that way. So folks want to save money, and then they
and
get burned.
and also you want to make sure you pick the right payroll service or accounting service for your specific business and your specific environment.
Yes.
What may work for
Yes.
company A may not work for you.
That's a great call out. Makes me think of as we've done this show, I've learned that there are like 2 specific payrolling services out there that they only do payroll for There's two, like construction. There's a construct. I don't know the names of the payroll services. Sorry, but they only
Mhm.
do construction payroll, and I know there's one that
Mhm.
only does trucking payroll. They only do it for the trucking industry. They only do it for construction industries. So that may be helpful for you, but not if you're in finance. That may not be
Mhm.
your right. Don't pick them. That's
Mhm.
what Walt means. Be specific about. Make sure that the vendor you're picking fits the needs. Be specific about it. Be intentional about it.
I
Right.
just googled the one for construction. It literally says the top one that came up was payroll, the number 4 construction.com. And
There you go.
yep, they're
There you go.
specifically for construction. Yep.
There it is. There it is. And the last one is stay informed about changes in tax laws and regulations to ensure compliance and mitigate the risk of unintentional violations. That's a great call out
Yes.
because, hey, we're talking about fraud here, but there could be things that you get hit for and you didn't even know it. You're just like, what? Oh my gosh, we didn't know. And that happens. That's why it's
Mm.
tough. Again, I talk about this all the time, and I'm sure any HR and payroll folks that interview for work, it, if they're getting good questions, one of those questions got to be, how do you stay on top of compliance? And the answer for me is you have to be intentional about it. There's no easy button for it, because even if you subscribe to a service or anything like that that provides you with the information, you have to fact check and double check it. Not so much double check it or fact check it, but you have to make sure that it hasn't changed because of the timing, because the legislation changes. So yeah, so those were the preventative steps. And now this all got me thinking, right? It got me thinking
Yes.
about, we do these, folks. I promise you, when we started out doing true payroll crimes, we thought it would be like a fun mini series that would quickly run out of content. Boy, were we wrong. There
Yes.
is no end to the content that is out there because these fools out here trying to steal. There's just no end to this, the criminality of it all. And I'm
The
like, well,
temptation, man.
it's the temptation. And that's a good call out. Thank you for saying that, because that's another thing that we see in these cases, that trends is it's either business owners that fall to the temptation, or it's payroll professionals that, and it could be HR professionals too, that don't have good oversight. You leave
Yep.
them in a position of power that you figure, oh, I trust Michael Mann over here. I trust him. He's the president. I trust him, and blah blah blah.
They've been
Mm,
doing payroll for forever.
they've been doing payroll forever. Oh my goodness, yeah, forever. $70 million later, they stole. So, and I said, well, what are some of the? Are there any common traits for criminals, right? I got all like Criminal Minds on it, right? And that's
Yes.
one of the, I do love that stuff. So I was like, well, what are the common traits? Are there any, and what are there? So yeah, actually are. According to a 2021 study, some psychological traits that are associated with criminality include psychopathy, which I
Mm.
guess psychopath doing a lot of stuff, low self-control,
Mm.
and difficult temperament.
Mm.
Um, yeah. So other psychological factors that have been linked to criminal behavior include mental illness, impulsivity, I guess being impulsive, right? Affect, I don't know what that means, negative affect. Lack of empathy, I know what that means, but yeah. And antisocial personalities.
Yes.
So, according to the National Institute of Justice, people who have experienced prolonged trauma and have adopted emotional detachment as a coping mechanism are more likely to become repeat criminal offenders. So it's something
Mm.
to, as HR professionals, if you're evaluating your staff, these are some of the things that if they pop up is red flags, right? If you're a
So
manager,
yeah, man. Thank you for doing that
yeah,
because we've always said that what I
yeah,
wonder what they're
one,
thinking. Yeah,
yeah, you say it all the time. Every time
y-
we
y-
do this show, true, yep.
I looked up. I googled two things. I googled psychopathy and I googled
Okay, perfect,
negative
thank you.
affect. So psychopathy is a mental health condition that involves antisocial behavior,
Uh,
impaired empathy and remorse, and
Oh wow.
bold, disinhibited, or egotistical traits.
Wow.
And
Okay.
then
Oh wow.
negative affect is a personality trait that involves experiencing negative emotions and poor self concept.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, folks, we it gets very interesting. Um
So,
these things,
yeah. So it sounds
right?
like a lot of these things, when people decide to do this, maybe there might be depression involved. There might be something that's negatively impacting their mental space in that moment, that they're just like, you know
Yep.
what, bump it. I'm gonna go ahead and take this risk. And I operate in a silo. Nobody's checking it anyway. In Michael Mann's case, he controlled everything. He processed payroll. He was the one who submitted the ACH files. He was the one who did all the interactions with the banks. If you remember the case, like, he did everything in a silo, and there was no checks and balances in place. Nobody to hold him accountable during that time, man. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, bro.
Yeah, no problem, right? It just got me, like I said, it just got me thinking about these things because like you said, every time we talk about true payroll crime, you're like, what are these people thinking about?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so crazy. Yeah. Anywho, if nothing else, let's move into our last segment of the show as we close out our safe talk segment. And today's safe talk question is: should the government do more for victims of crimes like the one Michael Mann committed? It's a really
So
tough question.
So
Yeah.
remember, they did pass legislation, as we know they did, but those some of those employees, as we read on those people, are still waiting for reimbursement. So that's my point. Should more be done for them, because these people's lives changed? Like, some of these people's
Yeah.
businesses closed.
I want to take a break real quick just to let you know about a new show we've just added to the network. Up Next at Work, hosted by Gene and Kata Keel of the Devon Group. Fantastic show. If you're looking for something that pushes the norm, pushes the boundaries, has some really spirited conversations, Google Up Next at Work, Gene and Kata Keel from the Devon Group.
Right? And
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, the bigger banks were the ones who, because they had the lawyers and the firepower to go in and get their money first. To go, you need to give us our
Hmm.
money first, and they left the little people, or the common people, hanging,
Yep.
because the big banks got their money
Yep.
first. So shouldn't the so like
Um.
that was the reason I wrote this question, because I'm like, 'cause- and if you can tell, my answer is leaning towards yes. I feel like I, I don't necessarily know if the government should
Yeah. I
do it
have
by
an idea.
itself,
Yeah. I hear you.
but there should be something that could be done for these people. I know we
Hmm.
talked about payroll, having payroll insurance and stuff like that, and those different things to
That's it.
cover
There you
the
go.
that
Yep.
stuff. But what about the employees? The employees don't. Is there an insurance to cover for you if this happens to you as an employee?
That's exact. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Is some type of insurance that could be mandated and I gotta imagine there's some insurance, but yeah, something for them. Exactly right. Something for the employees, not for the employer. Like, yeah, you're gonna give them the employer has it, but what do the employees get is very interesting. It's good. It's a tough question
Yep.
because then we get into folks who don't like a lot of government involvement, Big
Hmm.
Brother, and stay out of my business and stuff like that. But then, hey, if you lose your paycheck and nobody can pay you back, I bet you want somebody to help, no? And that's why it gets tough with these questions of government involvement, because we get into, again, it's not a political show, but uh, we have to talk about some of the things that go into the politics of it because it impacts
Hmm.
our lives. And yeah, it's tough, man. And I would hope that there's something out there that
I just googled it and
could
I didn't
could
see
help.
anything for the employee.
Wow, wow,
Like, because I
that's
know
crazy.
that with health insurance you have, like, short-term disability, long, but that's if you get hurt or something like
You,
that. You can't work.
eh, but you got to get it though, because that's not all companies give it to you for free. You
No.
got to actively get it and pay for it. Shoot, if insurance people are listening, I think payroll insurance has a big opportunity, folks.
For the
Because
employee and for
for
the
yeah,
employer, both.
yeah. Because think about it. Think I may pay a few bucks a month to right. Heaven
I
forbid,
would gladly do it.
for whatever reason, I don't get my paycheck. And look at the a few weeks ago or months ago when the direct deposits were late.
Yes, bro. With the credit unions. Yep.
Yo, there's
Yes.
opportunity there, folks.
Yes.
All my entrepreneurial payroll folks that listen to the show, chime in. Send us an inbox on LinkedIn. Are there any things out there? Can there be something developed? Like, how hard is it to create these insurance policies? Because again, I would pay. Imagine if you could pay a few dollars a month to cover these incidents. Now, of course, there have to be some guardrails around
Yes.
things
Yes. Yeah.
right? But and
Just yeah.
it's got to work right, because in the case with the direct deposit that didn't happen on time, you would want folks to be able to submit claims and get money immediately, really
Yes.
quick. So there has to
Yeah.
I know there has it doesn't I know there's got to be guardrails and things, but it sounds like a really good idea and opportunity. I know you may say, oh well, Brian, save money, that's why you have savings for.
70%
If you're
of.
listening, paycheck to paycheck. 70%
Yep.
of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. What was it? 60% of Americans don't even have $1,000 saved.
$1,000. Yep.
Folks, I know, but we could definitely we're subscription maximization. We could definitely pay a few dollars a month
I'm, I'm guilty of it because I had a
to
gym
Netflix
membership to
accounts.
Planet Fitness. I had
Oh,
two Netflix accounts. I
uh-huh.
had
You're putting your
a
business
gym.
out there.
A gym. No, it's true because think about it. That imagine the reason I'm telling on myself or being vulnerable with that is because imagine if I put that money, because I was still able to live
Yes.
and had the food and everything I needed and power on and stuff like that. But imagine if I put some of those extra funds that I'm losing out on into pay insurance that is available for me, and that can be a
Yep.
backup. Because how many people have their gym membership that's just running and running right now, and they just pay it like month over month and year after year?
Yep. That's right. That's right. And like you said, we could put that money toward an insurance to so forget about anybody else taking care of us. We can take care of ourselves and
Yes,
cover our
yes,
own pay in the event. Because what if
yeah.
somebody gets hacked? Look, the hack man, we are really at the intersection of a need, right? And I don't know, a threat, because what do we talk about cybercrime as it? Oh my
All the
gosh,
time.
I was just a victim of cybercrime very recently. They hit
Me
me
too.
for yep, you too. And we didn't even know. I told Walt, he was like, "Oh, me too." They just killed me for a bunch of dollar. See, and that's how they get you. They'll start with like 33 cents and or a penny, a dollar, a da. And I had two transactions. It was one for 33 cents and one for $11.33. And it wasn't us. It was fraud. You got to go through the exercise of shutting your cards down, getting new cards. And as cybercrime continues to grow, it's been estimated to grow to $10 trillion by next year from
Yep.
3 trillion a few years ago, like an exponential growth. And AI has something to do with that, technology has something to do with that. But
Yeah.
everything is being digitized, all this stuff. So we're like at an intersection of need
Yes,
and
sir.
threat, where we could really use something like this because of that. Like, yo, oh, hello, some company, I'm not even going to put them out there like that, but some company just got held ransom, cyber attack, paid $22 million in Bitcoin, and it's still not solved. And I think
Yep.
I think it's the same one we already reported on. This is real. So imagine if you work for a company that just got cyber attacked, they have no money to pay you. How are you living?
Yep.
How are you living? How are you going to
Yep.
get to your next paycheck? How are you going to pay your bills? Because most of us, 70%, fall in that category where we don't have a solve. We don't have the savings. We don't have the backup. We don't have 6 months of operation money saved. Are you crazy? We're living out here.
Yep.
We out here YOLO, living the American dream. Rather go to the club than go pay our rent.
You're
Hey,
right.
what happened? Oh, we're at a point. It's like an aha moment because I'm like, wait a minute, whoa, we have to follow up on this. But also, payroll professionals, if there's something that out there exists already, let us know because I can't think of it right
Please.
now that safeguards the
Yes.
employees. Yeah.
Yes. Just
Wow.
imagine that. Imagine how you would feel if your employer got hacked, to your point, or if you get let go. Like, hey,
Yeah.
the company has a layoff, and you haven't done the research to look on the site to know that a layoff is coming. And it surprises you,
That's right.
and you're that employee that falls into that percentage that doesn't have the $1,000 saved up.
That's right.
Imagine like having putting money into some type of insurance, some type of fund to protect yourself
Yep.
later on down the road, and be like, oh man, at
Yep.
least I have 2 or 3 months worth of funds
Right.
to like
Right.
survive off of, so I can
Yep.
pay my mortgage, I can pay my rent, I can provide groceries for my family, and I can have unemployment as well as if I'm let go, if I'm fired,
Yep.
and then I can
Yep.
have unemployment to help me mitigate some of those things as well. Imagine those things. I know unemployment is out there, but most people can't
Yeah,
survive
but it's
off of
not
unemployment
enough.
alone.
No, it's not enough, and it's helpful for sure, but it's
Yeah,
definitely not enough. And yeah, and I think it's something there for folks. I think it'd be hard for a startup to accomplish this because you need money out the gate because you might
yeah.
get somebody that
You need
you
capital.
might get
Yeah,
people sign up. Yeah, you need it's capital intensive because
yeah,
the first month you get folks to sign up, they may be a victim of some type of fraud,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they may need to draw a claim on it. And I get it. There's these
Yes,
guardrails, and I don't know.
yeah,
I'm not that financial wizard that can figure that part out. But I don't know. I'd
it's
be
a
having
good
some good
idea.
ideas sometimes.
Yes, you do, sir. Yes, you do.
Sometimes
So it sounds like we
that was
both agree, right? With
yeah,
that the government,
yeah.
there should be something else, even if it's not the
There
government.
should
There
be
should be
something
something
else,
else.
and even if it's not the government, but there should be something else for sure. And shoot, we may want to shoot a poll out there to LinkedIn or something, see if there's something. Maybe we're missing it. Maybe there is something else. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely a great conversation. Very interesting topic. Very interesting conversation to have. But yeah, hit us up, folks. Who do we got? We do have somebody to a next show planned for. It's about
Yes,
payroll.
Jeffrey Naftel.
Nice. Yeah, we got him on the next show. Jeffrey Nafto is going to be on the next show. He's a human resources leader, and we are definitely going to have some good conversation with Jeffrey Nafto. Let's see here, follow. Let's see Yeah, yeah, long time human resource professional, and we're going to definitely learn some stuff from him. Look out for that next show, folks.
Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, that it. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it, man.
And until the next time, we love you. Peace.
Peace. Before we sign off, here are a couple of quick things. Don't forget to follow It's About Payroll on LinkedIn and It's About Your Paycheck on Facebook and TikTok. Thank you for being a part of our payroll community, and thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.